What's up, YouTube? Thanks for joining us in our newest video from JT Tactical. I'm JT, and today we're going over my S.T.O.M.P bag, or trauma kit. S.T.O.M.P bag is a term used. It stands for SEAL Team Operational Medic Pack. So that is what this bag is modeled after. I have made a few changes for my personal use, but this is still a pretty much all-inclusive trauma bag. So I carry one of these in each of my vehicles. If you watch the video that I did about my get home bag, I mentioned that I had a small trauma kit that could actually attach to that backpack, and that's what this is. It has these buckles on the top that can be used to attach it to that backpack. It also on the back has these two MOLLE straps, so it can attach to anything that is compatible with the MOLLE system. And then it also has this strap, so it can be worn as a fanny pack or even thrown over your shoulders, something along those lines. Along with that, I have added a couple extra pouches, as you can see. So we're going to dive right into it and take a look at what's included in my pack. Once again, just like I did with my video on my IFAK, my individual first aid kit, I will not be explaining how to use any of the items in here. That is up to you to go and receive instruction on each individual item and how to use it from a medical professional. That is not something that I do. But for now, we're going to go through everything included in my kit. Starting with, on the very front, very clearly marked, I have a tourniquet. I have talked about these many times in my other videos. I think I mention it in just about every video. I have tourniquets everywhere. So I like to have that right on front, easy to grab. Over here on the side, on the front, is a small pin light. Not very bright, but it is. I found that it's perfect for this use. It's not as a flashlight or a tactical light or anything. It's strictly for a small pin light to use while I'm doing first aid or taking care of a wound, that type of thing. The pouch over here on the side is all my writing utensils. So I have 2 pens and 2 pencils, just regular writing utensils in there. Then I also have 4 permanent markers, and they're the 4 colors that we use to do triage. I mentioned that in a previous video as well, so if you are not familiar with that, go ahead and look it up. Right behind that pouch, I have a small folding pocket knife. Great to have to cut clothing if needed, but especially to open packages of bandages with very little difficulty. Then this first side pouch over here, we're going to open this up. Right on top, I have a baggie that holds 4 pairs of gloves. There's 8 gloves in here. And as I've mentioned before, I don't use latex gloves just because some people are allergic to latex. That's something to keep in mind. Also in here, I have 2 different types of triangular bandages. They're packaged differently, but they're the same item. And I also have 2 emergency blankets. These are great to keep people from going into shock, or just try to keep people warm if it's a little bit chilly outside, or to prevent people from going into shock if you're treating it before it happens, hopefully. Moving over to this side over here, I have 5 tampons. They're small, they're not scented. That is important because the chemicals and such that they use to add scent to these can create infections inside an open wound if you were to use that to stick inside a wound. I have a large roll of duct tape. There's a couple yards of duct tape here. That has so many uses, I'm not even going to get into them all because we would be here all day. Duct tape is a great object to have on hand though, simply because of all the different uses. Here I have a baggie full of sutures. I believe there's 10 different sizes in here, 2 of each size, so there's quite a few. That's definitely an object, though, that you should not carry unless you have received formal training on how to use it. Same with these. These are nasopharyngeal airways, 2 different sizes. And here's the third one that I keep in here, 3 different sizes of those. And in the bottom here, I have lubricant for those. Once again, definitely something that is great to carry if you have the proper training on how to use it. Next, I have tweezers, a little set of 2 different types of tweezers. I have 2 hemostats. Hopefully, I will never be in a position where I need to use these, but I do like to stay prepared just in case. Another roll of duct tape, this one much neater than the last one, but another couple yards of duct tape. And a bright orange lighter. I like the bright colors because they're harder to lose, and I have a habit of losing lighters. And then here's some more of the lubricant for the airways. So that covers the outside 2 pockets of this kit. And now we pop these open. We're going to look at the front here. This front pocket right here is where I keep all of basically a boo-boo kit. It's everything for small first aid type versus actual trauma gear. So I have another baggie of 4 pairs of gloves. I have a bandana that's great for all kinds of different uses, but especially as a triangular bandage if I need a third one, or making a splint. I can use it if it's hot outside to soak in cold water, wrap it around my head or somebody else's head to keep them cool from overheating, help prevent heat stroke, all that kind of stuff. I have another lighter. I live by the rule 2 is 1, 1 is none. So specific objects like the duct tape, like the pens and pencils, like the lighters, I keep 2 of, just in case one fails or one is lost. Next, I have a baggie full of Band-Aids, from small ones up to about medium-sized Band-Aids. Here's extra small Band-Aids and another baggie, and then more medium Band-Aids and large Band-Aids in a third baggie. So 3 different sizes of Band-Aids, because like I mentioned, this portion of my kit is for more first aid type situations. I have 2 rolls of medical tape. I've found that medical tape and gloves are the 2 number 1 things that are overlooked in standard first aid kits. There's rarely enough of those, so I like to have a lot. I have 6 antiseptic wipes, which is great for cleaning off wounds or even cleaning your hands afterwards, but I also keep wet wipes for cleanup after I have taken care of a situation. Make sure to get everybody cleaned up as best as possible. It's not always easy to do in the field, but we do our best. I keep a small bottle of hand sanitizer for that same reason. I want to try to stay as clean as possible. That's why I have gloves, wet wipes, hand sanitizer. There are lots of diseases transmitted through blood, so I want to keep as much of that off of me as possible and off of other people. I have a little bottle of eye drops, which is specifically for me because I have very dry eyes. This is mostly just like artificial tears. It's not actual medicine for my eyes. It's just to keep them wet. I have a bottle of hydrogen peroxide. That's for sterilizing and cleaning. And then I have a 3-inch gauze roll that I believe is about 4 yards long. So that's quite a bit of gauze there. I have medical shears. These are for cutting clothes off of a victim in order to reach the wound and treat the wound effectively. In the back here I have some Q-tips, which are great for using with this triple antibiotic cream. applying that to a wound without risking getting some blood on myself from the other person's wound. Then I have a small notebook back here. It's gotten a little squished, but notebook to write down everything that happens in a situation. I take very meticulous notes anytime I would use any of this. I would write down exactly what I'm using, what time I'm using it, what's happening. Even if it's after the fact, I will go back and write down every detail I can remember so that I have it for my records, so that the medical professionals or law enforcement, whoever may need those notes, they can have them as well. Alright, so we've cleared the 3 outer pockets of the bag, one on each side and one in the middle. And now we'll move into the large pocket that is most of the space in the bag here. And this is where I have some more of my actual trauma gear. Start off, right on top is an Israeli dressing. It's a compression dressing. That's all I will say about that. Once again, it's one of those items that you would need to go receive instruction from a professional on how to use and when to use it. I do have an ACE bandage in here. That's more of a first aid type item. I actually have 2. They're different sizes, as you can see. Then there's a pocket inside this bag. Inside the main pocket here, there's actually 2 small pockets. And so in one of them, I have all types of gauze. So first, right on top, I have 2 things of Quick Clot, which I have mentioned in a previous video. That is gauze that creates a clot in the wound to help it stop bleeding. Then I have 4x4 gauze. I have 2 of those. And I have 2 5x9 gauze. Getting a little bit smaller here, I have 2 2x2 gauze. And then I have a whole baggie of, there's probably about 50 pieces of gauze in here of all different sizes. And I keep that rolled up in the very back. Also in this pocket I have ammonia tablets. There's 10 in here, and you pull out the tablet, snap it in half, and hold it under someone's nose, and it gives off a very, very strong odor that's meant to keep people from passing out or wake them up if they have already passed out in a situation where you need the person to be awake, alert, attentive, those sorts of things. At the bottom, I have 3 scalpels. Hopefully, I won't be in a position where I need these, but I do like to have them just in case. And then the last item in here is a very large 10-inch by 30-inch gauze dressing. That would be pretty much only needed if there was a large abdominal wound. That's why I only carry 1 of those, and if I were to need a second one, I think I have enough smaller sized gauze I could make do, but it's very unlikely to need something that large. Well, this is what I carry in my trauma kit. I have rebuilt this kit a few times, added to it, taken away from it. This is what I ended up with for the time being. As I continue to do research and receive training, I'll probably change it up a little bit more. Maybe in a few months, if I've changed my carry, I'll do a second video on it, just kind of as an update. But for now, this is what it is. If you have any questions or comments, please hit me in the comment section. Love to hear from you guys. And for now, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching us here at JT Tactical. Keep an eye out for our next video and have a great day.